Are you looking for a strategy to beat half cash on basically every beginner map? Then I've got the right thing for you. In this video I'll show you a strategy that works on every beginner map. The only downside though is you need to have monkey knowledge. So first up we'll start with our free dart monkey and we'll place him somewhere along the map. It doesn't really matter, I will showcase it on resort, but with the correct placement it works on every beginner map. Now this dart monkey's only purpose is to carry us through the first few rounds until we can afford Quincy, which is a hero everyone's got, so that's why I'm using him, and he's overall a pretty good hero. Now that we have Quincy, next up we want to save cash for a boomerang monkey, so I'll be right back when we have that. Now that we can place down our boomerang monkey, we want to place him in this little hole here on resort. If you're not playing on resort, then you should probably place him close to your Quincy, because you can buff them with a village later on, or an alchemist. But in my case here, I will just place down the boomerang monkey here. The reason why I am very particular with the placement is because on resort I want to fit some other towers in there, else some other towers than the boomerang monkey. But on other maps you don't have to be that particular with the placement. Now that we have this boomerang monkey, we want to gradually upgrade him to a 302. So first of all we'll upgrade 3 upgrades on the top half and then the 2 on the bottom. So I'll be right back when I have that. So now with our boomerang monkey upgraded to 302, the next thing we want to get is a tech shooter. And on resort it makes sense to place him also right here. So we will do that. On any other map, like I said, just cluster him somewhere near to the boomerang monkey and Quincy, because then the village we will place later on will buff everyone and not just these towers here, because for us on resort the village will later on only buff the towers here in the circle and not Quincy, but that's not too big of a problem. Now that we have the tech shooter down, we want to upgrade it gradually to an overdrive, so we'll start with giving it the 2 top half upgrades and now just save up the cash until we have all 4 bottom half upgrades. So I'll be right back when I have this to an overdrive. Now in round 38 we can already afford our overdrive. And next up is actually already the monkey village, which will first of all give our 2 towers here camo detection, but also a huge buff because the village will in the end go to a 420. So we will have to place it close enough that it hits everyone, and then just get it up to a 420 after some time. I will have to place it here though, because otherwise it might not hit the tech shooter. And first of all we want to get the radar scanner upgrade, so I'll be right back when we have the cash for that. Now we have the radar scanner upgrade, and as you can see I've lost some lives there. That was because the camo rainbows in 43 were a little too much for Quincy. If you want, you can use this ability, then you won't leak anything at all, but even like that I only leaked 18 lives plus the road spikes, so that's also not too much. And now that we have our radar scanner, we want to upgrade this boomerang monkey to more claves first, and now save up to upgrade the village to bigger radius, jungle drums and primary training. Now we can afford jungle drums and also primary training. And now that we have that, we want to place down an ice monkey. And that was also the reason why I was particular with the boomerang placement, because now I want to fit this ice monkey in here, which actually works. Of course, if you are on any other map that is not a resort, it is not that big of a deal with the placement. But here on a resort I would really like to have the ice monkey in here, so I'll be right back when I have managed the placement. There we go, there we have our ice monkey, and this ice monkey will be upgraded to a 420, so an embrittlement with enhanced freeze and deep freeze. And next up will be an alchemist to buff these 3 towers, and this alchemist will go to a 401. So yeah, I'll be right back when I have the cash to upgrade this alchemist to stronger stimulant and faster throwing. And now in round 62 we should be able to afford all the upgrades for Alchemist, and now we only want to get primary mentoring, and I'll be right back when I have that. Now we have our primary mentoring, and now the last thing basically, what we want to do, which will take some time though, is just spam a bunch of mob maulers. So we will place around 7 mob maulers rather to the front of the track. If you though have a track where your village and in general your cluster of monkeys is close together, then it would obviously be smart to place all these mob maulers into the radius of the village. But here I don't really want to place all of them in there. I will place some of them here, but some of them also up front, because I don't want them to steal the buff of the alchemist. So yeah, I will just place a lot of 2-3-0 bomb shooters, and I will be right back when I have 7 of them. So a small correction on my side. First of all, we only want to get 5, so I will sell 2 again. And also, you obviously want to set them all on strong, because they are supposed to deal single target damage to all the mobs. So we want to have them all on strong, and yeah, like I said, we'll reduce them to 5, because we don't need 7 of them. And that's it. This is the setup with which you can easily beat every beginner map on half cash. If this video helped, then please leave a like and subscribe to not miss any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one.